Hi, this is Heather with Keep It Simple Social Media, and I am so excited to be sharing with you today the social media game plan for 2021. I have always said if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. It is so important that we have a roadmap to where we are going so we know every week what it is we need to be doing to accomplish our goals. And social media for a lot of people has been a very big goal. And a lot of times I talk to clients that tell me, real estate agents, that they're hit and miss with their social media. And primarily that's because the business of real estate is pretty much like this. It's up and down, up and down. And if you do not have a plan, if you do not know what it is you're doing, then unfortunately, social media and any other aspect of your business is not going to be as successful as it could be. So it is my pleasure in the month of December 2020 to help you focus on your goals for 2021. So without further ado, let's step into creating a social media game plan for your new year. Now, I can tell you that 2020 has been anything than a spectacular year for most people. Now, when this does happen, there are opportunities where you can reach out and create a different outcome for yourself and for your business. And it is not by taking advantage of people, but it is by working within your community. And that is the beautiful thing about social media, is it is about your community, about where you live, about staying local. And of course, I'm talking about the real estate industry, but there are also other things that you can do to reach out above your borders of your own little town in order to put yourself on the World Wide Web, on the market, and of course to other real estate agents that perhaps can send you referrals and things of other nature. And I'm going to talk about all the things that I'm kind of dropping little hints on throughout this presentation. So even though this has been a year of many new things for the real estate industry, because you are having to learn how to use virtual real estate tools, technology, video, so on and so forth, that you've actually grown a lot in the last year, because a lot of you never hid and closed your doors or closed down your business. Instead, you asked yourself, what is it can I do today to become better at my practice for my sphere of influence, for the people that I work with, for my community, for my family, and for my friends, so on and so forth. So let's look at the way some real estate agents are handling their business so you can implement these successful business tips into your business plan for 2021. So your strategy for 2021, in the next, let's say, less than an hour, we're going to go through step-by-step, daily, weekly, monthly goals that you could set for yourself for success. We're going to talk about reviewing where you came from. We're going to look to competition, and we're going to talk about success stories from real estate agents that I am seeing right now in the marketplace. We're going to talk about picking the right audience for your content that you create, as well as what is engaging content, creating evergreen shareable content. What is that and how does it work? How about content batching ideas, and what does that mean for your business? We're going to talk about types of Facebook and Instagram posts that you can be creating today. We're going to talk about repurposing content and the value of thinking of your content in that particular manner. We're going to talk about apps that I find to be extremely successful in the real estate industry. And then we're going to talk about a budget. How much money do you actually need in social media to have a successful heartbeat on Instagram, on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, so on and so forth, whatever social platforms you decide are best for you. Now, they don't have to be all platforms. You can pick one and get started with one platform and then introduce other platforms as you become more proficient with the one that you are using. So the very first thing that I actually just got off the phone with a private client, and I said to him, we need to learn how to block on our calendar specific times when we are going to be doing our social media. That means a specific day and a specific time, and it needs to be written down. All of your goals to success should be written down. That way you can look at what your plan was and you can adjust it over time. But if you don't have it written down, you are going to forget what it is you said you were going to do, and that is a guarantee. So the number one way to get started is to decide, I am going to time block social media because it is important to my business and it is important to me. So that is written down, you will do, and that is a guarantee for sure. So you need to know where you're going and what you're doing. So you might say to yourself, I'm going to post 3 to 5 posts a week. And it's not a set it and forget it. You're not just going to post and you're done with business, and we can talk about that, but you're actually going to write on your calendar, you're going to time block a specific day to say, I am going to schedule these 3 to 5 posts on that day. You need to also spend about 10 minutes engaging on your news feed. And this actually keeps you top of mind to your friends, your family, other businesses. And I'm also going to tell you that today Facebook has given you a second news feed. That news feed is a business news feed, and it's a very popular way for you to cross-pollinate your business with other local business. And it's called permission-based marketing today, and it keeps your business top of mind. You might not even know where to find that news feed, and you might not even know how to get that news feed working, because you actually have to build it in order to use it. And it, at this time, is a free way for you to promote your business. So you can ask me about that particular type of cross-pollination in the comments section, or send me a private message. You also need to respond to people. So remember, I said you just don't set it and forget it. What I'm saying is you need to check on your social media. So for me, I check on my clients and my own social media first thing every morning, in the afternoon, and then at the end of the day. And that way people aren't waiting for you to respond to them. Even though you have got certain response messages set up ahead of time, you still need to be proactive in your notifications, as it's called, to let people know that you care, that they are spending time on your social media, and that they matter. And especially if people are taking their time to write something, add a comment, or share. And I also like to say, when you're spending time engaging with other people's content on social media, that you just don't be a drive-by liker, right? So just don't like absolutely everything, but take the time to say something meaningful. Like if you see a certain picture, you might say not just, oh, great picture, but you might say, I love this picture. Where is this area? It looks absolutely gorgeous. So it's more of a sentence. Because think about it. When we're on our social media, or we actually post something ourselves, we come back to check to see if anyone is engaging with that content. And it makes us feel even better when people take the time to say something that is absolutely meaningful. So you actually have to have a purpose behind everything that you are doing on social media today in order for it to matter. And that also means that you have to be truthful and honest, and not just making up a whole bunch of stuff when you're going through your news feed and adding content. So take your time. You don't have to do this every single day. I am recommending a couple times a week that you spend 10 minutes, start your timer, and when your timer goes off, you're done. But at least make sure that you are in there engaging with other people's content. If you want people to engage with your content, reciprocity. Give it to them. Give them the love that you're looking for on your content. Now, let's face it, sometimes you can create content that people just go crazy over, but it's far and few between posts that actually happens to. So the best way to get people coming to your social media is by you going to their social media. Remember to respond to all the comments and the shares, and that's just basically you getting social on social media. I like to say that doing this little exercise is very much like attending a Chamber of Commerce event where you paid to go to that event and you got to meet all the other business owners and share your business card. Only with social media, you also get to see the people that are engaging with that business. So it's a really good opportunity for you to cross-pollinate your business. Now, I spent a little bit of extra time talking about that because social media is not just about you creating content and posting it, but it's also about you engaging with other people's content. And the only way that you're ever going to do this with meaning and conviction is to actually write it down, time block that you do this specifically on this day for this amount of time. So that is my first tip for you, is time block on your calendar when you are going to do your social media, and then follow through. So the other thing that I like is for you to print off a calendar. And I say go with 3 months at a time. So December, January, February. And the first thing you want to do, you can do this physically. So you can print off the calendar and write it down with a pen and paper. You can do it electronically or in your notes. Sometimes you can do it both, having both electronic and also doing it physically. And what I'm suggesting is that you write off each month, and then you write on each month what you know. So we know what's happening in December. A lot of people do the countdown to Christmas. Some people just have Christmas and New Year's on the December calendar. It doesn't matter, whatever is most important to you. So specific holidays, then you can look at provincial holidays or whatever your state is if you're in America. You can look at the local events that are going to happen in your community, as well as you can look at what's happening within your office and then within your family. And this start helping you understand the way to get creative with your content on social media. You can also go to several websites and Google when are specific holidays in your state, in your province, in your country, and you can get a list of all of those holidays. And there are even extra special lists that you can now get that talk about what day it is, whether it's not just Mother's Day, but International Sisters Day or Happy Dog Day or things of that nature. So do take the time and have a look at what is specific about each month that you are working on. Next, you want to take the time to look around you. Social media is all around us, but if you take the time to look at what it is you like and what you dislike on social media, that can give you a little bit of direction on the way that you want to go and what's most important to you. So look at other people's social media, have a look at, of course, your competition and what they're doing. Take a look at what you did last year. You can have a look through your Insights tabs, and we will talk about that. I've also done a video strictly on Insights, and have a look at what was successful that you took time to create content on that got the most engagement. And this will help give you and stimulate and inspire you to create content around those types of posts that you've already done. So look at your stats. Take screenshots of things that you see that you like on social media, put them into a little folder so you can in fact go back to that folder over time and have a look at other ideas, and those ideas will give you inspiration. So create that library, have a folder on your desktop computer that you put those screenshots of those business pages in. You can ask your clients what type of social media from a real estate agent do they like to receive, and just to write down lots of different ideas. You can start thinking about how can you share your day and what the highlights are to your day, or the highlights of your career, or what's happening behind the scenes of your real estate office. So who is making a difference that you're seeing on social media, and how are they doing that? And how can you not copy them, but how can you emulate that type of exposure that they're getting within your own business? Now, what you're looking at here are the insights, and I had mentioned looking back over time at your social media. There's a lot of different ways that you can see really important metrics that matter on your Instagram account, on your Google, YouTube, you name it. Everyone has analytics and different things that you can look at to gauge the success of your social media. Right now, for example, we are looking at Facebook. Facebook has a tab and it's called Insights. When you click on your Insights tab, it takes you to several different tabs where you can get an overview on a weekly, monthly basis on how your social media is performing. You can even look when you click on the People tab at how old the people are, what city those people are in, generally how many men, how many women are on your business page. You can look at what time of day these people are on social media, so then you can tell yourself what time of day you should be posting your posts when you sit down to schedule everything. When should they go out? And then you can even go into your People and Other Pages tab, which is found in your settings, and you can look at the people that have liked your page over time, as well as their names. So you could even create posts that say thank you to these people, as well as you can click the little arrow where it says people who like this page. You can click that little arrow and it will tell you business pages that have liked your business page. And this is where that cross-pollination that I was talking about earlier really can take effect, where you can say, well, these business pages have taken the time to like my business page. I'm going to go ahead and see what they're all about and see if they're a fit for me to like their business page. So these are your analytics. This is Facebook and Instagram or YouTube talking to you, telling you and trying to help you understand your audience. You can even take it a step further and look at what type of posts you have done that have got the most engagement. So when you look down the engagement line and you see a lot of engagement, you can click on that post, open it up, and say, what is it about this post that the consumer really enjoyed getting? And this gives you ideas to create more content that is very similar to that one. So it's a good way to look at what we call your donkeys. That means posts that received absolutely no engagement, and then you try to figure out what it was about that post that didn't work. How was the visual? Was the photo of a good quality? Was there too much writing, not enough writing? There could be so many different things about that post, but the only way that you well understand is to analyze it, and to analyze it at least once a month. And now you're looking at Facebook and YouTube and all the different analytics that can tell you in live time how well each of your social media platforms are performing. And if you only have one platform, it's a really good way to gauge if it is growing month over month. So I love the analytics, and they are only getting better and better, and especially on Facebook with the Creator Studio. There are all new analytics on your videos and things of that nature. The things that are most important to those social networks, they are increasing how you can gauge how well you're performing as well. So who do you really want to attract in your business? And I think this is a really valuable item to think about. Who is it that you're going after? And then say to yourself, what type of content would these people like to receive in their newsfeed? How can I create content that speaks exactly to those people? And I would take a minute and I would write down, I would look at my database of business over the last couple of years, and I would try to correlate things that are similar: age, interests of these people, geographical locations, where are they coming from? And this is really good for when you're doing advertising, because if you know you're getting a lot of clients coming from Alberta or Manitoba, Squamish or Vancouver, depending on where you're at, if you're in California and they're coming up from maybe Texas or something, then you can start to focus some of your marketing dollars in those geographical areas. But until you start to document that type of information, it's harder for you to you were just throwing stuff against the wall without actually knowing exactly who you're trying to hit. So you want to create content that speaks directly to these people. Now, I want to talk a little bit about community in 2020 and what's happened with the COVID-19 virus impact on our communities. A lot of local businesses have been hurt very badly by this, and some of them have struggled to regain their sales and things of that nature. And we're doing a lot of posts right now on Facebook and Instagram that say buy local, stay local. And what are you doing as a real estate agent to help promote those local businesses? So I know this young lady, Debbie Simmons here, who has created a contest every single Monday since June. She gives away a $50 gift certificate out of her pocket. She tries to promote local businesses in her community, and this contest has been phenomenal for her business. She's gotten involved also with the local radio station to create a challenge to other realtors to get a flat of food for the local food bank. So there's lots of things that you can be doing with your social media in order to just not be promoting listings if you don't have any, but to be building community and letting people know that you're still there. So showcase your local enthusiasm is a really good way to keep a heartbeat on your business during the slower times of this pandemic. Now, a lot of real estate agents have been extremely busy during this time as well. So it all depends where you're at on this socio ladder. Connect with people online if you can. Connect with them offline, in person or via Zoom if you can't get together with people, because we are supposed to be keeping our distance right now. But be the catalyst and talk it up about your community, because if you take the focus off you and put it onto someone else or someone else's business, they are truly going to appreciate what you're doing. Now, this is another item that a number of real estate agents are doing, and that's where they're doing market updates via Zoom, sharing their screen and talking directly into the lens, such as I am doing right now, about the local market, about the sales, about real estate. And you don't have to have any listings or even have had any sales to do this. And if you do this on a weekly basis, you will start to build trust and authority that you know what you're speaking about within that industry. As well, you can throw in a touch of local businesses where you're shopping and things that you've noticed, which also has a nice little flair to it. You can take these videos that you're shooting, put them on Facebook. You can actually repurpose them on an app and put them on your IGTV. You can upload them to your YouTube channel, and then you can embed them into your website. Now, while that sounds to a lot of you like a crazy thing that you might not ever be able to accomplish, I can tell you, once you've done this a couple of times, it does get easier, and it is not as hard as it actually sounds, or complicated or technical. Trust me, social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, they are trying to help you to utilize their platforms, and they are making it easier and easier every day for you to do that. So think about doing some video, some market updates. Think about utilizing other platforms so you can actually get more distance from each piece of content you create. When you do a video on YouTube, you're creating a library. This is known as what is evergreen content. And I was speaking about evergreen content in the very beginning. You also have a library, a Facebook Live channel. You have a library of videos on Facebook, and that lives there. If people went to your Facebook business page and went into the video library, they would see all your videos there as well. So it's just another idea of how you can create content on your social media to get in front of more people and just keep your business top of mind. So now I want to talk a little bit about content ideas. And on each platform, they give you a multiple way of creating different types of content, so you don't have to create the same type of thing over and over and become really boring. But variety, consider it like the spice of your life on your social media. So for Facebook, they tell you you can upload photos, you can upload videos, you can upload a photo album. That's 3 different ways to create content right there. You can also create the carousel on Facebook, and that's a beautiful way of displaying photos across. And each one of those photos actually has a link that goes to your website. And there's lots of other ways that you can create content within Facebook itself. Then on Instagram, Instagram now has Instagram posts, Instagram stories, story highlights, you have IGTV videos, you have reels, and now you have guides on Instagram. So there's a multitude of different ways that you can be creating content on your social media that is not the same every single time. On YouTube, you have uploading your videos, and of course your videos can be absolutely on anything. I do suggest that you think about the questions that people are asking you all the time, and you create videos on those, as well as market updates, as well as showcasing your open houses, all of your new listings. There's so many different ideas on ways that you can create content on your social media. And then you should always take one little piece of content once a week and take it over and put it on your LinkedIn account. Your LinkedIn account is the only truly known as business account when it comes to social media. And it's a good idea to have a heartbeat on LinkedIn, because when people Google your name, LinkedIn is actually what comes up first in a lot of cases, unless you are crazy into Facebook, and then Facebook will trump LinkedIn as well. The other thing that we want to look at is, even up to 2 years ago, a year ago, a lot of real estate agents were running ads in the newspaper, and those ads would run you anywhere from $125 to $300 a week, just for one little small box. Now, I can tell you that $300 a month is a lot of advertising that you can do on Facebook, with specific exposure and analytics that tell you if people are actually even reading your ad that you have on, whereas you never got that necessarily from the newspaper. So I am going to suggest that when you post on Facebook, any of your content, doesn't matter what it is, less than 4% of the people that like your business page are actually ever going to see it, because Facebook does not put it into their news feeds. Rarely. Sometimes you can have a piece of content that, like I said before, is on fire, and it does get into a lot of news feeds, but they're far and few between. And that's why you have to sit down and write down a budget of how much money you'd like to spend a month on your Facebook advertising. And I recommend at least 2 ads a month. Maybe it's a market evaluation ad, maybe it's a just sold or your new listing that you're promoting, but you want to promote your product, which is the product that you're selling, and your services, which is what you do. Either you're working with buyers or you're looking for sellers. But when you've got this written out and you know that you're going to run 2 ads a month, you're going to know what those ads are, and that will help you when you're creating the ad, what it looks like, as well as the call to action. What is it you want the consumer to do? So there's a lot of circles within creating content and then creating ads that you need to finish, so you actually know where you're going. So part of your business plan is to write down how much money you are going to be spending on advertising when it comes to utilizing the Facebook, Instagram platforms, and even YouTube for that matter. There's a lot of free resources out there, and I can tell you that Keep It Simple Social Media is definitely one of them. Catherine and I, over the years, have written so many vlogs or video blogs on our website. We have a lot of tips on our website. But if you went to Keep It Simple Social Media's YouTube channel, you would find over 700 YouTube videos on how to do social media. Now, what I can say is the best thing to do when you come over to Keep It Simple Social Media's YouTube channel is that you click on the playlist, and on the playlist you can look at all the different playlists that I've created in order to help you find what you're looking for when it comes to social media. You can also just ask me. That's another really easy way for me to send you a video on whatever it is that you're struggling with. You can ask to join the students only private Facebook group, and that is another opportunity for you to be able to ask your questions when you feel a little bit lost. And it's a safe community of other people that are trying to learn how to use social media as well. I told you that I was going to share with you some of my most favorite apps. And when I mentioned the fact that I would take a video that I've shot in a landscape form and I'd want to put it on IGTV, it does not fit. The format is not correct. So I actually have to resize it. And I use an app called InShot. I love InShot. I practically use it 3 or 4 times a week for my clients. And in InShot, they have something called the canvas. Within the canvas, you can choose the ratio for which you need, which is the vertical one for your IGTV Instagram account when your videos are longer than 1 minute. I also use iMovie a lot of the times for creating videos out of a lot of pictures or slicing together videos, but I can also do the same thing on InShot, so it has multi-purposes. Canva.com has to be one of the #1 places I go to create content. This presentation was created on Canva.com. My listing presentation was created on Canva.com, and 90% of the content that I create that is photos is also done on Canva.com, and they have a huge resource library of tutorials on how to use that particular website for creating content. I don't think today you can have a Facebook business page without using the Facebook Business Suite to access your business page, to go live on Facebook without going through your personal profile. So I do think that the Facebook Business Suite app is definitely one that you should be downloading onto your phone, so it is available for you to go directly to your business page when you want to add content, you want to look at what's going on, you want to look at your notifications, or you want to go live on Facebook. Now, I never talked a lot about going live, but video is the #1 type of content that you should be considering utilizing on your Facebook business page, on your Instagram account, and of course on YouTube. Video is the top type of content that you should be creating. On the note of the Facebook Business Suite, I also use the Facebook advertising app because I run a lot of ads on Facebook for my clients, and I like to access the app in order to stop ads when product sells, when their houses sell, or for whatever reason, just to make sure that I'm not overspending a budget. Sometimes Facebook has glitches where you say you want to spend $50 and it switches over to $500. And so if you are kind of monitoring on that Facebook app, you can see how well your ads are performing. You can also see how much money you are spending. So I think these 4 apps plus the advertising app on Facebook are some of my most favorite apps that I'm utilizing every single day on social media. I have a new offer, which working with InVideo to create videos, market evaluation videos, buyers videos, just sold videos, and to promote listings. InVideo is an easy way for you to create content being video, and InVideo has offered Kiss Media 50% discount. So you are welcome to go to invideo.io, www.invideo.io, and put the code in there, KISS50, for a 50% discount. Because if you're not utilizing video, you are going to be left behind. You must be doing video today. And it doesn't matter if you're in the video or you're creating video for your own content purposes in whatever fashion. If you just went to invideo.io, you could see and look at what type of videos you could be creating and get inspired. I often hunt around the World Wide Web looking at different ways that I can be inspired or learn something new when I have the time and the capacity to do so. So this is a new video creation tool, and I think it's a really good one, and it is easy to use. Nothing is ever easy the first couple of times, I know that, but time on task is the secret to success when it comes to social media, period. So time on task is something that you have to put the time in. Just remember, I'd love you to follow me at Keep It Simple Social Media, as well as on my YouTube channel in order to get up-to-date videos that we do on a weekly basis. This video, you might be watching it on YouTube or on my Facebook business page. I also offer one-on-one private coaching. Just reach out and ask me for a little bit of help or a price list. And remember that you are welcome to ask to join the Students Only Facebook group as well. My name is Heather. It has been an absolute pleasure to spend this time with you working towards a successful 2021 social media business plan. And the number one thing you have to do is sit down and write it out, and then each week implement exactly what you're saying. My name is Heather, and remember everyone, keep it simple.